Which is getting a reboot graphic novel? Well, it might be good. I mean, it can't be as bad as Fate the Winx Saga, right? Right? Please? So Witch is getting a new graphic novel that seems to serve as a soft reboot for the series. Unfortunately, the original team is not coming back for this project, which started out as a comic book produced by Disney Italia, created by Elisabetta Agnone, Alessandro Barbucci, and Barbara Canepa. The series follows 5 average girls who end up becoming magical guardians of a magical realm, while also trying to juggle their everyday lives. Despite the name, they're not actually witches, and instead transform into fairy-like beings, but they're referred to as guardians or their guardian forms. The name actually comes from an acronym for the first initial of their names: Will, Irma, Tirani, Cornelia, and Haylin. Admittedly, I don't think it's the best name for the franchise. It makes researching the show pretty difficult. Not that anything can be done about it now. It's been like 20 years. The original comic ran from 2001 to 2012 and was adapted into an animated series. It's now coming back as a graphic novel, but unfortunately the original creators are not involved. There was a pretty messy fallout between the original creators and Disney. From what I understand, it came down to a rights issue. They wanted more control over the project, but Disney shut them out. They tried to sue them to get the rights back, but the lawsuit failed, leaving Witch in Disney's hands, and the creators ended up going their separate ways from Disney. So they're not involved in this graphic novel at all, which in my opinion, not having the original creators involved does not usually bode well for reboots. It's unfortunate that things ended up the way they did. It's possible that they can still produce a good product, but if I'm being totally honest, I'm not really impressed with the images we're seeing. They look pretty bland and uninteresting. Also, a lot of the information we do have is not well translated from Italian. There are still Italian words in the paragraphs, and they keep using male pronouns for female characters. As of right now, the book doesn't seem to be available in the US, but it is available in other territories, so as of this recording, I haven't read it yet. Reviews of it seem to be mixed though, with some people praising the book and others not appreciating that it was changed so much from the original. I like how this reviewer just put no for the title. From the information we do have, it does seem that they changed a lot about the original. I'm not sure if this is more in line with the original comic or the cartoon, because there were major differences between the two. Like in the comic, only Haylin could fly despite the fact that all the girls had wings, since Haylin has air powers, while the other girls just had wings for the aesthetic, I guess. But in the show they changed it to that they all could fly and Haylin was just the best at it, which I personally think was a good change. The designs we're shown here are pretty underwhelming. Their guardian forms just look like regular activewear, and they're just not particularly memorable or magical looking. They're just so underwhelming. I guess their wings look nice. While I do like it when the characters have their own unique color schemes because I think it gives them a little more individuality, I do like how cohesive the original designs were, and they all had their own unique silhouettes. Plus they actually looked like magical forms. Here it kinda looks like they're just gonna go hang out and do some yoga, not going to fight the forces of evil to protect the magical realm. It's a magical girl comic that just doesn't look all that magical, which is kind of an issue, especially if they're trying to bring the series back. According to the notes, these characters are supposed to be 14 to 15 years old, but the designs themselves look to skew younger than that. They look more like they're 10 or 11. I think it'd be fine if they were 11. I just think the art style could better reflect the characters' actual ages. Winx Club is also getting a reboot. This time it's animated and Rainbow is actually involved, so I'm actually pretty excited about it, since the live-action reboot was terrible. Witch and Winx have had a pretty tumultuous relationship. Back in 2004, Disney actually sued Rainbow, insisting that Winx was infringing on their copyright, since both are magical girl shows who have a red-headed main character, and Disney felt that that was enough to sue over. The lawsuit was pretty quickly dismissed though, since it was kind of ridiculous to begin with. Rainbow was able to produce documents that proved that Winx was already in production by the time Witch came out, and their animated series even premiered before Witch did. In my opinion, Disney was probably more than likely trying to silence its competition, since Winx was their biggest rival at that point, which is not cool, Disney, but I'm also not that surprised. It looks like Rainbow is also going to be addressing the criticism that Fate received, rude, like specifying that Tekna is definitely going to be a part of the show, because for some reason she was excluded from that series. I guess you could argue she dodged a bullet, but still. The designs revealed for the reboot also look really appealing. The outfits are fun, colorful, and trendy, and they feel true to the characters. They feel very put together, and they actually look like they're 16-year-olds. For some reason, the costuming on Fate made them look like they were moms coming to pick up their kids from school, rather than the kids attending the school. So this is definitely a huge upgrade. I wish they had put this level of care into Witch. Personally, I would support a Winx-Witch friendship. After all, why can't there be two magical girl Italian shows? Angel's friends can come too, that's Rainbow. Wait, wasn't that supposed to get a live-action reboot? Never mind, maybe we should just leave it where it is. We saw how well that turned out with Fate. Have it be animated, or don't do it at all. Anyway, back to the Winx Club reboot. I think Winx could really use a reboot, since they kinda got screwed over by Nickelodeon. By the time Nickelodeon got involved, Winx had already been going on for years, and Rainbow had planned on them aging out of high school and moving on with their lives. But Nickelodeon canned that idea because they wanted them to be more relatable to the target audience, even though many fans were growing up at that point and would have liked to see the characters grow with them. But instead, they stayed in high school, and it kinda felt like it stunted the show. According to this article, the reboot's going to be pulling from the first 3 seasons of the show, which is great because those seasons were very solid. We don't have a look at all of their fairy forms yet, but what we do get looks really good. They're bright, fun, colorful. They actually look like magical fairies instead of just generic activewear, or just not transforming at all. But I'm excited to see the rest of the girls. I'm sure they'll be really cool, so that's something to look forward to. It looks like Ogron's going to be the main villain, and there's going to be a lot of action and fight scenes. I hope we get to see a lot of the tricks though too. They're definitely the most iconic villains. It's not slated to release until 2025 though, but we'll have something to look forward to. And in the meantime, we'll see what's going on with Witch. I'm not sure when the graphic novel is going to release in America. I'm sure it will be soon though. Maybe if it goes well, we'll get another animated series. The first one was cancelled after 2 seasons, but I think there's still a lot of potential there. I guess we'll have to see how everything goes. Hopefully if the series does continue, we'll get an update on the girls as Guardian forms. This just wasn't it. But that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Are you excited for Witch and Winx? Or are you not excited about these reboots? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching everyone, I really appreciate it. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to our members: Tyrant Carnivore, Shiny Orc Boy, The Rabbit Mancer, General Bolivar, Depth Charge Media, Samaru163, Gabby Hime, Verdant Range, JVR, Hussyman42, Nixel, Phil C, Taylor Ramirez, Caleb Nelson, Dakari the Professor, Equestron, Norman Sweetcream, Way Beyond Coincidence, Garcia XV Legend, Hunter Rose, 80s Nostalgia Guy, Felix Bam, Soundboy00, Owen Wildish, Kitsune Fiora, Lucas Geist, J Draws, Blue Spirit, Bandito Bane, Meowsers, Sky, Jin KZ, Philip, Stutania, and Isaac Martinez. Thank you all so much for your support. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to become a member, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video and like our content, you can leave a like on the video and subscribe, and that part's free. We also have Buy Me Coffee if you want to support us that way. Thanks again for watching everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.